What's up, guys? Disclosure Artist here, and I'm going to talk to you about some more interesting stories that I heard from my passengers. Tales from late night driving continued. So, this will probably be the third video I've made so far, where I'm just telling you about amazing stories that passengers have told me, and they're scattered throughout my channel. I'll probably organize them at one point and get them in a place that makes more sense and maybe allows for more of them to keep streaming through at a higher volume. So I'm going to start with three of the more recent ones. There was this elderly gentleman who was in my car one night, and we got into it, and I picked him up on the top of the hill, took him down into the city, and he told me how when he was a little kid, growing up in the 60s, he was playing baseball with the neighborhood kids outside, as kids did at the time. And they were playing baseball in the street, and it was about 6 o'clock p.m., and he remembers his mother was, probably going to call him home for dinner any second. But it was him and maybe 8 other kids. He said they were about 12 years old at the time. And just above treetop level was a massive 100-foot, he said, flying saucer, decked out in lights, spinning, blinking, multicolored lights. I've seen what you could describe as a flying saucer from the distance. It didn't have any lights on it. I've never seen a ship with fancy, sparkling, dazzling lights or anything, but this is what he was describing it as. And I thought that was pretty spectacular. I could see his eyes come to life when he was going down memory lane. He definitely didn't think he was going to be having this type of conversation when he got into my car. So it was really cool to be able to pull that story out of him. There was this one person who said that's one story. Here comes the other one. There was another person who got in my car, and they said that they were driving down the street, and they had another person in their car, and it was a dark night. There was no one on the road. It was very, very lightless everywhere. And as they were heading down this lonely, thin road, a light appeared behind them on the horizon, and it appeared to be a vehicle which was gaining on them and shining its lights very brightly in their rearview mirror. It wasn't until it got close enough for them to see that the car was, going to be able to be visible at any point on the horizon if they looked in the rearview mirror. And as they did, they saw classic. It was what my response was to what he said. The lights that they saw shining in their rearview mirror coming up behind them, they just lifted off the ground and went up into the sky when it was, maybe 50 feet behind them. So that's literally straight out of Close Encounters, the movie of the third kind, when that happens to Richard Dreyfuss's character. So that's what I said to him, and he goes, yes, exactly. And I thought I've never heard anybody say that. I'm pretty sure it does happen, but I've never actually spoken to anyone until this guy who described that type of thing, where they actually thought a car was trailing them or tailing them, and then it actually took off into the sky right behind them. I thought that was really cool. And then there was this other lady that I picked up a couple months ago, and she was telling me about her experiences and her experimentation with DMT. She is another person who was opening to me about the fact that she can get it for herself and experiments with it on occasion. And I always, I keep my mind open to, the other realms that it makes accessible for the human creature, but also, there is I suppose there is a differential between that which occurs within someone's head as well as outside of their head in physical 3D reality, third-party perspective. But then again, some people see things that are right there available for others to see, and somebody standing right next to you won't see it. So it is a gray, blurred lined subject. You know, if somebody is experimenting with these chemicals, what is happening exactly inside of them as opposed to outside of them. So I was keeping this in mind while she was telling me some of the things she was. It wasn't until the end of the trip where she pulled out her phone and actually showed me the things that she filmed. And as a person who's actually seen a portal open up in the sky with her own eyes, which I am one of these individuals, when I saw these videos that this lady shot, I was dumbfounded. It was absolutely astonishing. Astonishingly clear footage, high definition, beautiful spinning vortexes of green light opening up into a toroidal twisting of white light with a center of brightness. Incredible to behold. Not sure what to call it, how to describe it. She has a channel that's open, active, and is uploading these videos, and I was absolutely floored from it. So that's one person I tried to stay in touch with, but you know, they constantly are either unsubscribing people or just not notifying people when they have subscribed. So it's again difficult to get everyone that you connect with to stay within the loop. But you know, hats off to her. Hope she continues what she's doing. Yeah, really incredible footage. Shocked that it was still allowed to be on YouTube, as the closest thing I've ever seen to what she showed me was some years ago on the West Coast. There was something that appeared like that in the sky, and powers that be, military, what have you, they took off the original footage, or at least scoured the web as much as they could to find it, and then uploaded something similar to cover it up, to smooth it over. So I haven't seen anything as incredible as the original footage of that incident until this lady. All right, that's all for now, guys. I'll be in touch. Take care.